What if I told you have to choose between getting married or buying a house? At the time of this recording, the average cost to have a wedding in the US is close to $30,000. In this video we will discuss the age-old question, is it better to spend money on a dream wedding or to invest in a mortgage for a new house? It is true that I'm a real estate agent, but I'm also a human being, which means that I make tough decisions from time to time as well. You see, a lot of the choices people make are emotionally based. I mean, almost all of them are. Big decisions are oftentimes made at the dinner table rather than in spreadsheets. With that being said, let's take a deeper look at this complex question. But before we do any of that, I think that most people watching this already made their decision and they're just here to confirm their choice. And of course, every situation is different and there is no one-size-fits-all answer here. The idea for this video came from a Netflix show, Marriage or Mortgage, where couples choose to get married or to spend that money on a house. My first impression was like, seriously, who in the world is going to spend money on a wedding rather than buying a house? But as I kept watching, I realized there is more to this than just putting all the numbers on the paper. And I must admit, I was on a marriage team a couple of times. With rising inflation, people are struggling to save money, and I think this problem is becoming more and more common. This is just a hypothetical scenario where you have to choose one or the other. If you can do both, good for you. And this is not a financial advice by any means, which is obvious. I'm just a random guy with a suit on a YouTube. Let's first take a look at the scenario where you decide to spend money on a wedding rather than buying a house. One argument I heard for choosing marriage before mortgage is the establishment of a solid emotional foundation. Marriage is often viewed as a commitment to a lifelong partnership, and starting this journey before taking on the financial responsibilities of home ownership can provide a sense of stability and security. For many couples, the emotional support that marriage brings can be a crucial element in navigating the challenges when it comes to buying and maintaining a home. Because if you never fight with your partner, try buying a home with them. Seriously, this can be a stressful process. Also, one pro when getting married before buying a house is share financial goals. You see, you would be surprised by how many couples don't know anything about each other's financial situation. Entering into marriage encourages open discussion about financial goals and responsibilities. By marrying before buying a house, couples have the opportunity to merge their financial aspirations into shared goals. This can lead to a more unified approach when it comes to budgeting, saving, and making significant financial decisions such as purchase of a home. This also gives you an opportunity to work on each other's credit scores so you can qualify for a better loan terms. A wedding is not just about the couple, it's an opportunity to strengthen relationship with friends and family. There is nothing better than bringing loved ones together for your celebration. Great, now you can click off and have the perfect wedding you always dreamed of. Not so fast. Great job, now you spent all that money on a wedding, you are broke and you cannot afford the down payment on your future home. Just kidding, like I said, every situation is different. No one knows your life better than yourself. Ask yourself, how long will it take you to save for down payment again? Because as we said, in this situation you only get to choose between getting married or buying a house. So what if you decide to buy a house first, then get married? Marrying before buying a house may put a financial strain on the couple, especially if they choose an expensive wedding. This could impact their ability to save for a down payment or handle mortgage payments comfortably. Nothing can affect a relationship more than financial stress. This is not a marriage advice by any means, but if you think you found the perfect person to spend the rest of the life with, buying a home can actually be beneficial for you. And let's face it, people have weddings to impress their friends and family. Because as we said, according to the data, the average cost to organize a wedding is close to $30,000. Every dollar spent on the wedding is a dollar that could potentially be invested or used for any other financial goals. The only people that will remember your wedding vividly is you and your spouse, if you do not drink too much, of course. People don't really care as much as you think they do. You have to accept that the wedding is not an asset, like real estate or a brokerage account, but an emotional investment instead. 100% of the money that goes into the wedding is gone for good. It's being put into just that one night and you'll never see it again. Don't listen to all the vendors calling their services an investment. It just isn't. Buying a house before marriage can provide a solid foundation for a couple's future, ensuring financial stability and security. Even though it's a bigger commitment than just having a dog together, investing in a home before marriage can be a great investment. A shared property can serve as a symbol of commitment, providing a tangible asset that represents the mutual goals and aspirations of a couple. This shared responsibility can strengthen the relationship and create a sense of stability as the partnership evolves. Living together in a purchased home can provide a test of compatibility before making the formal commitment of marriage. Also, one tip is to subscribe to my channel because I make these kind of videos all the time. And someone might argue that the market is doing this or doing that, which might be true, but home buying is like investing. The sooner you start, the better. In fact, it is investing in your future together. Real estate has ups and downs, but historically it appreciates, and it's one of the best wealth preservation tools out there. One of the primary advantages of buying a house before marriage is the opportunity to build equity as soon as possible. Instead of channeling funds into rent payments, investing in a property allows individuals to accumulate equity over time. This equity can later be leveraged for various purposes, such as financing other investments, funding education, or even starting a business. Also, for those who are planning to start a family, having a home in place before marriage can be a strategic and thoughtful move. It provides a stable and nurturing environment for the growth of the family, offering a sense of security and permanence that can positively impact the well-being of both parents and children. One really great thing to consider in this situation is house hacking, which means buying a double or multi-family and rent out the rest of the units and let them pay the most of your mortgage. You can do this for a couple of years, and you can use this income to qualify for a loan and to buy your dream home. And you can also use this income to save for your big dream wedding. I know a couple who did this. It's been a year and they already have enough money to buy another house and keep this one as a rental. Most times the first house is just a starter home and it doesn't have to be your dream home. Just make sure the location is decent enough so you can sell it or rent it out when you decide to do so, and upgrade one day to a better house. No one enters a relationship thinking they will break up one day, but when making a big decision like this, it is recommended to get legal advice to fully understand your liability and your role in this situation. It is important to know what happens if you break up and who pays for what. There are many things to consider here, so do not hesitate to ask for professional help. Now go to your future spouse and say, "Hey, George told me we should buy a house first, then get married." Of course, I'm just kidding. So what should you do? Marriage or mortgage? It would be totally absurd of me to tell you that you should pick one or another. Again, I'm just a guy on YouTube with bunch of finance books behind my back. Regardless of the chosen path, it's important to approach this decision as a team. What's your financial goal 10, 20, 30 years from now? Seeking the advice of financial professionals can provide valuable insights and ensure that the decision aligns with long-term plans and aspirations. Whether you decide to say "I do" before or after signing a mortgage, the journey is a shared one. Also, ask your loved ones, what is a smarter idea? Ask people who have chosen to get married or buy a house first, was that actually a smart idea for them? But do not compare yourself to others. Some couples will just go into credit card debt to have a fancy wedding and to impress their friends and family. If you have any questions or comments, or if you want to share your story about this problem, please comment down below. I want to take a moment to thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and see you in the next one.